Did you know that racing yellow is the fastest color? Because this Porsche GT3 991.2 is the first customer one in North America. The main difference between this car and its predecessor is the engine. The last one had a 3.8 liter, this is up to 4 liters and it makes 500 horsepower. This is the only naturally aspirated 911 in the Porsche lineup. Right now, everything else has got turbos in it. The Boxster, the Cayman, everything else has got a turbo. Not this one. So you chose the GT3 over the Turbo S, which is, roughly in the same price point. What was the calculus that went on your mind choosing between these two cars?
The calculus was I wanted a rear-wheel drive car. I wanted something that was a little bit more analog compared to the Turbo, and I wanted a naturally aspirated car. And this car revs to 9,000 RPM, and it harkens me back to the older BMW M's, where I started off with. I had an E46 M3 and E60 M5, and I just loved ringing out those engines. And this was maybe the modern day equivalent, but even better than those cars. All the cars are turbo these days, and I just wanted a car that was not, just a little bit more simple and something that you could bring out and that you could hear the car wail.
So Phil, you've had a GT3 before. You had the 991.1, right?
Yep.
So how do you compare the engine in that car compared to this one?
There's more low-end torque with this car, and the power band feels wider and more usable.
And then tell me about the chassis and the suspension. So we've been driving these Canyons for a little bit. How would you compare these two generations?
I think the suspension and the chassis are almost identical, except for the fact that the rear end seems to be a little bit more planted. I don't know if that's because it has stickier tires now, or if it's the increased downforce because the wing is a little bit taller and there's the underbody panel as well.
How does the steering compare? You said the steering is a little more direct?
It's a bit more direct, it's more crisp, but the car is more, it feels a little bit more nimble in terms of turn-in.
So what made you decide to get another GT3?
I loved my previous GT3. I thought it was an amazing car, and once they announced the 4-liter engine on this one, I had to go for it.
Bang, done deal.
Now, I want to share some of the great drone footage that we got. However, it wasn't without a few problems.
I'm Eric, and this is RevMatchTV. If you want to learn about great cars, great roads, and cool builds, just hit the subscribe button right over there and the notification bell.